everything else. Yeah, this is everything else. Yeah.
Go to another edition of and returning ETE. I am one half of the show, Marcus, the grand finale, and I'm joined by not but one, not two, but all three faces of Jamal, host of the Mid-Card Mess podcast, and new proud father again.
For the third
to
time.
Action Chat. For the third time.
With the twinkle in my eye.
In my eye. I can imagine you just dropping elbows on, I guess, luggage bags and knees.
He's too tiny for that, man. He's too tiny for that right now. Soon. When he gets bigger, it's elbow drops all day. Leg drops, we're doing leg drops. Undertaker leg drops because fuck Hulk Hogan. We're doing elbow drops, Savage style from the top and going the whole.
Hey. Canadian destroyers out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck?
I'm cutting promos on his ass. So you want to throw up? I tell you.
You want to throw up? And you want to pee on me and everything that I put down for? You think that?
I'm not going to take your shit anymore.
But with all that being said, how is Action Jackson and Genesis after the childbirth and all that?
Man, Genesis is a trooper. Like for those people out there, and when I say people, I'm talking about the women that watch the show or watch any show really. Y'all have something called amazing body, and the woman's body is just an amazing thing. And I commend y'all for just existing at this point.
I know I would be dead. Right off the jump. Trying to give birth to a child. It just looks like the most painful, excruciating, unreal experience you could have.
We have no idea.
We're weak. As much as we say we're strong and we're men and we can do all this, we weak as fuck when it comes to childbirth, I think. Like, we would be like... we would be, they deserve all their flowers and everything that goes along with it.
But the baby's healthy. Both my babies are healthy.
That's good.
Not to forget, because I know some people might be out there fucking lurking and scheming. I remember I have another son. His name is Landon. I have a daughter. Her name is Emberlyn, to be matter of factly. So, I love them with all my heart. But Jackson is here with me, and I get to, everybody that knows my story understands that I deserve this win. This is a big W that I'm going to take. So I'm taking it.
That's good. Take your W's. And as you talk about the expansion of your bloodline, let's talk about the WWE universe and maybe the possibility of expansion of the bloodline. Over the weekend, we had Hikuleo lose the New Japan Strong Heavyweight title against Kenta. And we also had Jacob Fatu lose the House of Glory heavyweight title. Tama Tonga is a free agent. Now, not all these guys are related to the Inoue family, except for Jacob Fatu. But an expansion as Roman's window or his tight-knit grip of the Usos seems to be dwindling. Would it be time to update the bloodline with these hot 3 free agents? All of them are free. Jamal, what would you add? Would you add them to Roman's bloodline, or would you have them be a separate entity, or would you just try to sign them in general and just get them in WWE? What would be your plan?
Well, let's just put it like this. All 3 of those motherfuckers deserve any recognition to be in the World Wrestling Entertainment. Like, they all deserve it. From Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, AJ Styles was clamoring for Tama Tonga to come to WWE for the longest time. His brother Hikuleo, who's the youngest out of the 3 Haku children, it just makes sense. Will they do it though? Having met Jacob Fatu personally myself, he's too much of a real nigga to be even in cahoots with what type of suit and tie organization WWE is. So I'm not too sure, but I know that man knows how to do business. So if business talks, if money talks, then money talks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the real get would be, of all of them, I know we threw all these bunch of names, would be Jacob Fatu. I think of the three people we put in the thumbnail, he is the most athletic, he is the most established, he's the, he'll be the most unique. I would love to see his dynamic. I couldn't imagine Roman Reigns trying to belittle him like he does the Usos, like, who's in charge here? I can immediately see him stepping up to him and cause that dynamic. Or even if he was a challenger for Roman's title. And, build up storylines as they redo this Bloodline storyline. Because we thought it could have ended at WrestleMania. It should have ended, possibly. You can go back and forth whether it should have or could have. But if we're in Chapter 2 of the Bloodline, or 3 of the story, Jacob Fatu entering the story and being a threat or an accomplice to Roman, or even if you just wanted to team him up with Solo and they go after the tag team and they feud with Solo's brother, the Usos, and it's just a full Fatu battle right there within house, would be, I feel like, a compelling storyline. As for Hikuleo and Tamatonga, I wouldn't mind seeing them joining WWE. Would be the Bloodline, I don't know, but a tag team at that. Hikuleo fits the WWE demographic, as in, this is a large motherfucker who
that's a big boy. He's a big tall too.
He's a big tall boy. And it just
because, like, Haku Meng for those WCW aficionados, King Haku for those WWF aficionados, like that's his son. Like, what I'm saying, the lineage is there, so I mean, he's tough as nails, just like his dad.
Yeah, and for Tamatonga, for whatever decision he makes, the window is closing for him. He is getting up there in age. I believe he's in his 40s, if not 40. So if he wanted to go get the bag with WWE or AEW or something right now, that would be the time. Although right now in the AEW landscape, I kind of don't want to decide or announce anybody as all elite. I want them to handle the people they already have. They already have 1 million people in their company already. So I don't want him to just end up like Jay White or
shit is this.
And Juice Robinson and shit, who just on the show.
My whole shit is this with AEW. If these niggas is not in your video game on June 29th, then I don't want them to be announced as all elite, okay? I want your game to be as accurate as possible, even though it won't. Cody Rhodes is still in this game. So we'll see what the roster looks like. I know DLC is a thing. I mean, FTR is not even in the damn game.
They've had so much time. They announced FTR wasn't in the game a year ago.
That they're gonna be the first DLC signed. Watch.
Yeah.
The fact that it be DLC after the fact is crazy.
Yeah. So a lot of speculation involving free agents, but there's a lot more to talk about in general. Just there's so much to talk about. We've been out for about 2 to 3 weeks. I forget how long. I was out sick, and then
the baby.
We had the baby, and then we took 2 weeks off for that. So there's a lot to cover. Battle of the Super Juniors is going on 2023. Right now in Block A leading is Mike Bailey. Block B is led by El Desperado as it currently stands. Do you think these two are going to hold place, or do you think it's going to shake up a little bit in the next coming weeks?
It should shake up. I mean, like tonight they're going to do the B block round, so it definitely should shake up. It's a 3-way tie on the B block with Desperado, Master Wato of all fucking people, and and Yo. So the person out of the B block that I think that should freaking try to elevate himself to solidify himself as one of the best of the Super Juniors of the world is Yo. Ever since fucking Show dropped him like a bad habit, Yo's just been fucking wailing along, being a random nigga in chaos, just like freaking Rocky Romero. He's just a random nigga that's in chaos. Like,
but he's there. He's there. He shows up when it counts.
It was like okay, he's just a random nigga. He's like doing Yoshihashi shit. The only difference is that Yoshihashi has been, and I fucking hate to admit this, but he's been fucking firing on all cylinders since teaming with Goto, becoming those fucking stupid Bishamon motherfuckers.
Hey, they have a chance to be tag team champions coming up soon.
Oh my fucking Christ! Fuck them niggas. Anyway, back to the best of the Super Juniors. Yo has the most to gain and the most to lose here. He has been second fiddle to Show, even though Show has been wailing in freaking the House of Torture and stuff like that. But again, he's the better athlete. He's the more entertaining of the two. Like, I actually like watching the Murder Machines matches and stuff like that, as opposed to watching Yo with his best BTS guiding light. Like, he doesn't know whether he wants to be Mustafa Ali 2016. He doesn't know whether he wants to be King Ricochet and freaking a Lucha Libre. Like, he doesn't know what he wants to be. He looks like a BTS mixed with freaking One Direction, and he has no direction in either. I don't know.
He has no direction. But we were talking earlier about people in this tournament who are disappointments. Kushida is at a 2-7 record. Don't look like he's bouncing back from that. This is his return to the tournament after he won it, I believe, 2 or 3 times? 3 times, right? Three-time return champion. This is a disappointing performance. But also, your boy Clark Connors, one of the newest member of the Bullet Club, added by David Finlay personally, is not doing well at all. But he has 8 points. I can see a resurgence. What do you think about some of the people who are under, not really doing as well in the...
Well, you got to think, why I say Clark Connors is a disappointment, even though he's batting 500 right now. It's like, you're the newest member of one of the hot, I don't want to say in the hottest groups, because that's just like a cop out at this point. Everybody loves the fucking Bullet Club or hates them for whatever reason. Like, everybody knows that Bullet Club exists, and you're the newest member of this said group, and you're only batting 500. You're not doing bad, but you're not doing good. So, this was supposed to be, you went from the White Rhino, which was kind of, but you're 100 proof. You're 100 proof batting for 500. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. All right. So what we have right now with Mike Bailey and all this stuff going on, who do you have actually winning this tournament right now? Especially with the injury of Ishimori, who would have been probably favored, but he took that injury. He's hurt. He's out for, I think it was a cervical, right? Like, I think that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Cervical. Yeah. So he's going to be out for a minute or so. Who do you have winning this tournament?
I wouldn't be surprised if Titan wins the tournament. Titan from Los Ingobernables de Japón from the A block. I wouldn't be surprised if he won the whole thing. Again, Yo has the most to gain from this if he decides like he's gonna shift gears and have a direction. There's people that can still bounce back. These three-way ties, Master Wato is somebody that you should be looking forward to see winning a tournament. I mean, he hasn't won. He should have won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom, but like he fucked his own self. He fucked his own self. He should have looked for the cover. He had it. It was a great match too. Like,
yeah.
This could be his breakout. Like, the winner of this tournament is getting the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship title match next. Like, that's who's getting it next. So, I don't know, man. Like, don't be surprised if Leo Rush wins this thing. Mike Bailey, Titan, Master.
I feel like I would be a little surprised if Leo Rush win. I know he's been a junior tag team champion and all that. And he has been consistent over there in Japan, and he's been working hard. But I don't know if they would have him, like, and there's still always that what's going on with Leo kind of deal, in which he could be wrestling 1 minute, he's on fire, and he's having great matches, like his last matches with Mike Bailey was even really good. But there could be one moment where he just be like, I'm out, I retire. You just go like, what the fuck? So that's why I'm always iffy on it. I can see him winning and him having a banger match with Hiromu and whatnot, but I still kind of just out there like, I don't know if I trust you. I don't know if I trust you to win this tournament and then actually show up, whether you get injured or you decide to retire or whatever, the way the wind blows this week. He's like the Kyrie Irving of fucking wrestling, in which you have no idea what's his next move or what's he thinking, because it's completely opposite of what everybody else has planned.
Yeah, like, to put Leo Rush in the same conversation as Kyrie, like, you don't know, like with Kyrie, right? He's not joining the Mavericks next season. He's definitely a free agent. Like, he got traded to the Mavs. He played for a bit. They tanked, And now he's like, "Oh, I'm out because y'all tanked." Like, nigga, you was there with them when they tanked. You didn't play for Brooklyn all season, and then you fucking talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
And then his next step is after the Mavericks showing up at the Laker game with former teammate who he hated, LeBron James, for the reason he left to go to Boston anyway.
Everything. This is Leo Rush. This is Leo Rush leaving WWE, going back to MLW, going back to fucking AEW just to go to New Japan and then stay in New Japan for a little bit. Like, come on.
Yeah, and there's injury and retirements and all that. So, the one thing I do say, my buddy's on top of block. Hey, I don't see him winning the tournament. I think he's gonna lose that spot, and someone's gonna come up from behind and take that spot. I don't know who, but you know, I can see, like you said, Leo Rush, Titan, or Hiromu.
Everybody that's supposed to face Taiji Ishimori automatically gets a point for them. Yeah. So all these, like, you know, if they haven't faced him already and lost, then they already got the point against him. So. Yeah.
So that's our Battle of Super Juniors update. The next thing, New Japan had an event in my backyard of Long Beach, California, which Willow Nightingale is the first ever New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Well deserved, and that's why I'm leading the headlight with this, because it's kind of overshadowed that she won the title due to Mercedes Mone being injured, who at the end of the match, she was going up on the turnbuckle. She does a jump down off the turnbuckle, and I believe she twists her ankle there. I had to go back and rewatch the match to see where the actual injury occurred, because we thought Willow just knocked her out in the powerbomb. Yeah, like everybody was like, "Oh, fuck, you killed her." And when they did it again, it was like, "Oh, she double killed her." And then you find out it's the ankle later. But I'm happy just honestly for Willow. I believe she deserves a title and a significant run. I don't know how long this is going to be for her, since it wasn't probably the original plan. This was Mercedes built to hold. But I hope Willow gets a decent run on this, you know? Hopefully she gets to run through it and run, you know, New Japan Strong Women's Division, go to Stardom, represent that title there, and maybe even hold it long enough to next year's Wrestle Kingdom. Who knows?
Willow Nightingale should have been Ring of Honor Women's Champion a long ass time ago. When they had the tournament, that's why I had winning. That's what I had expected. That's what, you know, people clamored for or whatever have you not. The fact that she didn't win that tournament, it kind of made me upset. But at the same time, Willow is a giving person, so it couldn't happen to anybody better than Willow to be the not only first inaugural champion of, you know, New Japan Strong, but like, you know, just being a black woman in Japan, 2 black women.
Yeah.
And wrestling for a Japanese title, that's crazy.
Yeah, and at the show, me, Eric, and Ryan were all joking. Like, Michael Cole was yelling, 2 black women first ever to main event a New Japan wrestling show for the first ever New Japan title. It was historic. The energy in that room was epic. It was just like high octane. It wasn't the biggest sellout or anything, but everybody was really hyped for it. Even at the start of the match, people were banging on stuff. It was loud. The room was shaking. Like, even though that show had a match with Will Ospreay, Tanahashi, you had Okada and 6-man with John Moxley and all that, the biggest ovation was for Mercedes and Willow, and they hadn't even started touching yet at the epic fashion.
It's the first time that Mercedes and Willow ever touched 2, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
yeah,
you know, it was a great match. Aside from the injury aside, like, you know, squash is gonna squash, but like, you know, it just happens. It just happens. You have winners, you have losers. Sometimes injuries happen. Unfortunate for Mercedes Mone. Hopefully she bounces back from this. You know, she's definitely a star. Like, you know, the star power that she does have. If for whatever reason you think that she can't wrestle, for whatever reason that you don't think that she's pretty enough, for whatever reason,
promos, whatever drawbacks she has. Everybody had to complain about Sasha or Mercedes or whatever.
She's a star. She's putting asses in seats, and that's what matters the most, putting the asses in seats. And every person that she faces in the continuation of her wrestling career is going to benefit from being across the ring or side by side with her from here on out. It doesn't matter if she's going to Impact or fucking AEW, New Japan, Stardom. It does not matter where she goes to wrestle. the person across the ring or the person that's right next to her is going to benefit immensely just for her being there wrestling that person.
Yeah, I feel like it raised Willow's stock a lot. Even though Willow, I mean, well recognized in wrestling at this point from her time at AEW, whatever she's doing in Ring of Honor, just over time, being more recognized. But by being in the ring with Mercedes, it really did help and elevate her as a elite champion, and then beating her, like. You know, it was really nice for Mercedes to, like, I believe reports say she called the audible in the middle of the match, like, hey, you're going to have to win, I can't go. It's nice of her, because it could have easily went the other way. We can wrap this up, I just land something, I roll you up, or whatever it is, I win the match, and I take the belt, but she did a very unselfish thing. It was like, here's the title, run with it, and we see where we go with this.
And it just opens up more opportunities for not only Willow Nightingale as herself, but Willow Nightingale, the AEW competitor that she is. So now that AEW has a New Japan title, that working relationship just benefits everyone involved, because now they have an AEW women's wrestler, or I'm not going to say women's wrestler. They have an AEW wrestler with a New Japan belt that wrestles on two different shows, which is Ring of Honor and AEW at the same time. So, like, you know, that's just going to benefit like more New Japan people coming through to Ring of Honor and AEW trying to get their titles back, basically.
Yeah. And with Forbidden Door coming up too, it does help out with that show. Even though that show doesn't really need help, it's already probably, I think, close to being sold out anyway, without any matches being announced. This shows the power of the New Japan and AEW, and just what people want to see in general. So I look forward to seeing what they do with this title, Willow, and everything, and if Mercedes, or when Mercedes come back, and I believe she signed a new contract with them for smaller, it's not for more dates with New Japan, so I'm sure she's going to fulfill that when she comes back from injury.
With what people have to understand about New Japan contracts, or Japanese contracts as a whole, for Japanese wrestlers, it's the long term. Oh, this is for 5 years. This is for whatever not. But for the Gaijin wrestlers, okay, we have you for 6 times. So whatever 6 events, that's when we can pull you and, like, you know, hey, can you do these 6 events? So you're dedicated to those 6 events, and then you hype up that event, whatever that event may be. Like, you're an American wrestler wrestling for, let's say, Impact Wrestling, but you have a fucking date in freaking in October, or you have 3 dates. So that's October, November, December. That's those 3 New Japan, whatever pay-per-views that's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, you have time to prepare for that, so that way you could still have stock in whatever you're doing, but those 3 dates are guaranteed for you to show up, so you can cut promos from across the way, across the pond. You can go over there, do some interference of whatever the fuck without touch up. Like, you know, it's a very unique set of contracts when it pertains there. Chris Jericho could tell you, Brock Lesnar could tell you, Kurt Angle, TNA has done it before, so like it's not nothing new, you know. So hopefully everything else follows in those footsteps.
Also on this Resurgence show, we learned that Will Ospreay will be facing Kenny Omega for the United States title at it'd be Dominion, right?
Correct? It's gonna be Dominion, but he's not facing Kenny.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's he's facing Lance Archer. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Match, the winner of that match,
I saw he bypassed that. Like, he ain't winning.
Yeah, the winner of that match is gonna face Kenny Omega sometime later down the line, or they might face him like on that same night or whatever not. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Will Ospreay versus a motivated Lance Archer is.
Well, I don't see any way in this planet that Will Ospreay loses to Lance Archer. I just don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I don't care what's going on. I don't see Ospreay losing that match.
Here's my thing with Lance Archer, right? Lance Archer reminds me of we want to say 99 2000s Big Show, right? We know he can beat everybody on the fucking roster. He literally got the size, the speed, the charisma, the talent, all that shit. The thing is that he has to be motivated to do so. To make it believable, he has to be motivated. when motivated and when pushed to the very limits of whatever like has to be done, Lance Archer is one of the most scariest opponents that you can ever have. Like, I wouldn't want to be in the ring with Lance Archer on a good day, let alone a fucking I'm trying to fucking win a tournament and he's trying to win the same tournament. Like, no. Like, Lance Archer is a fucking problem that people need to recognize. Like, he's a fucking beast. He's a problem. That fucking Texan.
But when does he ever win a big match? Tell me when he's ever won a big match. Like, he never wins the big one. He never wins a big match. He loses every big match he's ever tried to fight. Except for that time, I think he won the United States title.
United States champion. He's
That's the one. That's his one. I'm going through his whole career. That's his one match.
Him and David Boy Smith Jr. when in Suzuki-gun were one of the longest reigning tag team champions of New Japan history until fucking, guess what? The Good Brothers beat them. So there you go. They had feuds with Gorillas of Destiny and greater tag teams.
That's tag team business.
But
it's tag team business. I'm talking about a solo Lance Archer has one major win in his whole career.
That's his United States heavyweight.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, but like, come on, man. That's a problem. I wouldn't want to be in the ring against him.
I'm taking him. He's old. He's old. I know. I'm old too. I know. You got it. See, Jamal, you don't understand. When you old, you don't, one, get up for that motivation, and two, you attack those knees. You go after old person's knees real quick.
I don't want to hear nothing about no old person's knees. I went to Afghanistan twice. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear nothing about old people's knees. I don't want to hear my knees hurt. My brains are scrambled. Fuck all of y'all. Growth exponentially grow. I'm 33. I feel like I'm 65.
Hey, we're not putting I wouldn't say Lance Archer had Marine miles on him. He doesn't have Marine miles on him, Jamal. But I'm saying he has normal human being miles. You attack those knees right there. You go to those knees. You take that back out. And Ospreay will wear his back out. Also on the show, we had a relinquishment of the New Japan Tag Team Strong titles and the New Japan Heavyweight title. Mark Davis is injured. Kyle Fletcher is going to go along. You kind of would notice that Kyle Fletcher was out there by himself for a bit because Mark Davis has been MIA. That he's showing a fight towards Cassidy. I believe that's tonight, actually. And he's doing a lot of this solo stuff. And so they relinquished their titles, and it's the battle. I forgot who they're fighting. It's the Bishamid versus who's the other team? Forgot the other team. At the end, they're gonna fight for the undisputed champion.
It's very unfortunate that all these belts, these new belts, brand new, like freshly belts, is just being like, oh, we gotta relinquish. It tantalizes the belt. Like this happened with the never open weight belt when it first was introduced way back in the Gap, and niggas was just getting injured because that was beat me up belt. Like that was
that was the legit strong style. We're hitting harder than anybody on the planet,
beating everybody up,
slamming everybody on their necks.
So the Universal Championship was that way for the longest time. What's another belt that did that crazy nonsense? The women's tag team champion.
Oh, that's cursed. That title is cursed. That is the defense against the dark arts teacher.
Don't want to win.
Yeah, that's the belt where everything goes wrong. Either you're injured,
you're walking off, you're not getting ready, you're not on TV, you're on TV, you're fucking. Oh my god.
Yeah. So and it just seems like that title's cursed just in general. Like, good luck Shotzi, who dives to her death trying to win that title. I think the safest bet, honestly, is to put it on Ronda and Shayna, who are coming back from injuries of their own from WrestleMania. They may get re-injured if they try to win. But I do feel like that right now would be the best option for them, which that title's cursed. This title's cursed.
It's just unfortunate that new titles are the injured titles. Like, you think of it with injury, riddled with it. So.
Well, even the women's NXT title seems to just be full with injuries and stuff like that. Like, even Indy Hartwell, she was drafted to Raw, but she wasn't defending that title. She's injured. That ankle is fucked up, just like Mercedes is. Yeah, so
just trying to get that belt, fucking Tiffany Stratton taking that back landing, like, Jesus fuck. Like,
yeah.
Roxanne fucking dies of exhaustion. And the fucking what the fuck? Like, what's happening over here?
Dies of exhaustion. Again, Rico Santamora deserves a rematch for that title, and she killed Roxanne Perez.
Do you think that B. Priestley is the one fucking in these?
I'm gonna agree with Manny, who said it right away. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's Blair Underwood or whatever," and I was like, "Fuck, I haven't."
I'm sorry,
Blair Davenport. Yeah, where? I honestly don't remember where. But it does make the most sense. She hasn't been around in a while. She's on the contract. She's not doing anything, and it would make the most sense. And I would like to see her feud with anybody out there. She's very talented, and it seems like that's what's going down there. Speaking of women's wrestling, and this weekend up and coming, we have Night of Champions, Double or Nothing, NXT Battleground, and don't forget this Friday, Impact Wrestling Under Siege, where we will the main event will be Jordan Grace versus Deanna Purrazzo for whatever number of a time. Is there anything on this show you're super excited for other than that match, or just that it's a one match show? Because I don't really know what else is on the show.
I mean, like, Steve Macklin has his title defense. I think his first title defense. I forget who it's against because, like, I've been indisposed.
You're busy.
Yeah, I've been indisposed with this baby and everything like that. But I'm really excited to see Steve Macklin start solidifying himself as Impact World Champion. That's another championship that's been cursed with injuries and nonsense as well. So, like, hopefully it doesn't fall beyond him. So it'll be nice to see. There's ABC. They're facing somebody. I don't know who.
Is a show happening?
I think it's the Guns. It might be.
This is one of those shows that's legit lost in the shuffle on Memorial Day weekend of shows because of everything else that's going down this weekend. It's a stacked weekend.
See, I'm ashamed of myself because I forget that it is Memorial Day weekend, and as you know, it's a day that I'm heavily affected by. So,
Yeah, but you do have preoccupations right now. You have a newborn. It's not like you're supposed to be on top of everything. I got Impact Wrestling. Jamal, but what about your newborn? I have a child. Memorial Day and all that stuff can just be a side note.
3. What do you mean?
I have 3. I got 2. They, where the third one come from? Last week. I'm behind. I need to catch up. But would that
be watching too many Kushida matches, time splitting my fucking shit.
I'm all fucked up. With that being said, the other shows are happening this weekend. What are your thoughts on the heavyweight title? Who do you think is going to come out on top of that at Night of Champions? That seems to be the big match, other than the Roman and the tag.
Yo, AJ Styles, man. Let's stop the madness. Like, I respect Seth. Seth Rollins is one of the best in this generation, but he said it himself. If Roman is fucking John Cena, then fucking Seth Rollins is Edge.
Or if Roman is Hulk Hogan, I'm Randy Savage.
Yeah, he's Randy Savage. Like, there's no debate. Like, if Roman's Goldberg, then he's DDP. That's it. That's nothing to do.
I can't.
Sting the Ric Flair. Like, it is what it is.
As much as I would like to see AJ win this title, the fact that they said it's a Raw exclusive title and Seth is already on Raw and AJ is on SmackDown, and I don't think AJ is going to move away to that side. The fact that
it's a Seth.
Yeah, I think it's an automatic victory for Seth, who seems like he would be that type of person who, with this being a workhorse type of title they want it to be, would be the person that's game for it. AJ is just a little bit older than Seth, not that much older, about maybe like 5-6 years, something like that. But it still would. I would be more comfortable with Seth if they're going to defend this title on a weekly basis. Seth delivers bangers after bangers after bangers on a given basis. He's a modern day, just like you trust this guy with anybody. He can have a good match with anybody. I think it's a good start with him.
That he hates.
Yeah,
he's proven it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Matt Riddle shit, the Brock Lesnar shit for the longest time. Yeah, man. Anybody that he really despised working with, like he still worked with them. And
Yeah.
Logan Paul, fucking Jesus Christ, like
Yeah.
I think
He
he
finds
put
a way.
matches out of the people he hates the most.
Yeah. Even recently, his match with Omos was, the best Omos match ever. Not saying much, but it still was a very good, well put together match by Seth.
But it's because Seth Rollins was across the ring from him, and that's an intimidation to him.
Yeah. These are both two guys that fought Omos, and Seth has the better match of the two. It's more memorable, I guess. It's not saying much again, but there's no slight against AJ, but it's still like, oh man, Seth was able to pull this out. This is Khali versus Shawn Michaels type of shit. Where it's like, oh, I did something. I did a thing. We also have the Double or Nothing main event for their world title. What do you have happening in that one, and the Fatal 4-Way and whatnot?
MJF should retain. I don't see any of those other three as world champion in my book. It's a great story if Jungle Boy wins. It's a great story if Sammy Guevara wins. I don't think it's a great story if fucking Darby Allin wins. Like,
I'm in the other side. I would rather have Darby win than the other two. I'm not feeling Jungle Boy or Sammy right now.
Literally just there, dog.
Yeah.
It's literally just there. Everybody has a story behind them. Especially even with Darby Allin, right? He had his success off the back of Sting and off the back of fucking everybody just pushing him and him being the little dog. Like, we've seen this story before and we've seen it done better, a la Rey Mysterio, a la Spike Dudley. Like, we can go back to ECW. Spike Dudley did it better. Like, he died better. Like, what I'm saying? Like with Joey Janela does the kill me better. Like, it just...
Hey, Spike Dudley and any of these other guys that just took their ass with Mick Foley's died so Darby Allin could be crippled.
But MJF should lock this the fuck up and end up winning this match and then face a bigger opponent, kind of like a Adam Cole or fucking somebody else that's on the roster, like ready to go.
Yeah, and then there's the NXT pay-per-view this as well. Mello versus Breaker. I believe Mello should retain.
Mello retain. There's no ifs, ands, or buts fuss about it. Mello's got to retain.
Yeah, hometown. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything. But, like, what is he, a 3-time champion at this point? And in the minor leagues where he should have been probably promoted to the to the main roster and whatnot.
We are going to get a good match, but Mello.
Yeah.
It's all about Mello right now.
I would say Mello is money, but I don't want Carmella to come at me.
No, she ain't coming at nobody with her pregnant ass. So.
You never know, man. You never know. She'll come at you and be like...
I wouldn't be surprised if I'm floating around in Manhattan and I see Corey Graves and Mella fucking shopping for baby shit. I wouldn't be surprised.
But what do you think will be the best show of the weekend, or who's going to take the best of show? Is it going to be Impact, Double or Nothing, Night of Champions? Or
AEW should have the best show of the weekend. And I'm not saying that in lightness at all. Like, AEW is going to have the best show of the weekend, followed by Night of Champions. Then you give Under Siege, and then freaking probably NXT. NXT has a shot to go over Under Siege, but like it both of those shows are literally just like there.
Yeah. I mean, there's some last man standing matches and all that. Double or Nothing, I don't know if there's going to be any surprises or anything on the show, but it does have it feel like they took a long time to try to build this show. It's like the final week this tonight, where they will try to really sell you on the show, but I don't feel like they did their best job. And Jamal goes blind. I don't know what happened.
You see, I try to give them praise, and they're like, "Nah, fuck out of here." No.
How dare you? How dare you? Ah, my eyes. But yeah. Jamal, is there anything else you would like to add to this show? I feel like we covered like literally everything.
Samoa Joe and Zack Sabre Jr. are supposed to have a one-on-one match Samoan Joseph, or Joseph Samoa, as Zack Sabre Jr. likes to say. That should be a banger if it does happen. I don't know if it's going to happen at the AEW show or not. It might happen on a Ring of Honor show later down the road. Obviously, Willow Nightingale, the new New Japan strong women's champion. Shout out to Matt Cardona for beating Jacob Fatu for the House of Glory Championship. Holy crap.
King of the Indies. King of the Indies.
I almost went to that show. And I was like, nah, I gotta watch this baby.
But yeah, Matt Cardona's out there winning titles and stuff. I don't want him to come back or go anywhere. I think he should stay on the Indies and just be the king of the Indies. I think he's very successful. I think he's a draw out there, being his own man, basically a free agent, a gun for hire for anybody. But he does bring good business to everybody, and I think that he's better on the Indies, and anywhere else he would just either get lost in the shuffle or he wouldn't reach the potential that he's doing on the Indies.
I once traveled to Iowa, to Ottumwa, Iowa, just to go see Matt Cardona wrestle somebody, and he didn't even wrestle that night.
Yeah. The disappointment is real. Because he was injured. This is an injured, right? I mean, it's not like it was a bad show. I'm saying...
Bridge City Slam is awesome, and anybody that knows anybody should go fucking watch Bridge City Slam 5, I think it is. This year it's going to be Kurt Angle, there's Deborah, there's Dave Hebner, Earl Hebner, one of the Hebners is going to be
Well,
there.
Dave Hebner passed. I think it's Earl.
Yeah, man, Cowboy Bob Orton should be there, so, it's going to be a good time, man. Go to Ottumwa, Iowa, Bridge City Slam. Go peep that out. Our good friend Clint Dye from the Mid-Card Mess and Tag Team Photography. He's going to be there taking pictures. Austin Bayless runs a good show out there, so yeah.
That's good to know. All right. Well, that concludes it. I don't know when the next Mid-Card Mess podcast is coming out. Not sure.
I've been recording. I just haven't been posting because reasons. Currently, my Instagram is down. I'm not going back to Instagram. I'm sorry. It's been 2 times that I got hacked. I got too many shits, memories and all that stuff. I was like, nah, the emotional toll is over. So I'm going to leave if you want to see me on Instagram, you're going to have to peep out the Sharpshooters Network. That you can find me, and I'll do some reels for us and do some stuff. So, yeah, I'm working on content, so don't worry about that. Make Carmess coming soon. Probably by the end of the Super Juniors, then we'll get something going on again. New schedule.
All right, you can find me here on this channel. I'm here every day of the week, apparently, with Manny.
Single day.
Every single day, except for this weekend, where you can join Manny and I believe Wes for the watch along, possibly for Night of Champions. I don't honestly know. This is all Manny's business. I will be at Double or Nothing, so I have no idea how it's gonna work.
I'm gonna try to be there. Hopefully, I'm not Slump Dog Millionaire like last time.
There's the Untitled Manny and Market Show, where we talk about NXT and AEW, the final go home show, and then Friday we might be doing a watch along just because we haven't did one, and it could be of anything. We have no idea what it's going to be or what we're doing, but it may be one.
I'm free that whole day Friday. I don't go back to work till next week, so if y'all doing that watch along, let me know.
Let you know. We don't know what we're doing though. That's the crazy part. So it could be. Jeez. We don't know if it's a movie or a wrestling show.
I don't care.
You're like, I'm there. Jamal, you don't have access to what we're watching. I'm there. Okay, I got it.
I probably done seen it. I know what you're talking about.
I'm going about verbatim. And you're like, God damn it. So you got a bootleg edition of Fast X and then watching it. I don't have that.
Do it live.
Do it live. All right. But that concludes another episode of Everything Else. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video if you have any questions or suggestions or blah, 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 blah. We will see you guys next week. I'll see you probably tomorrow or something. But peace out. Goodbye. I don't know how to... I forgot the show ended. What do we do? Just I think I just throw a thumbnail up and I'll just be like, we out?
Down and be out. That's all
We out. Goodbye. So long.